You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Thursday on the Brock and Dalby Podcast. Second last Brockless show before he swoops back in to get us to full strength on Monday. We got a comment on the Spotify upload of a recent episode, BaDPod 211. I didn't even know you could leave comments, but I saw this from Sally, and it says, "Happy birthday, Brock. Cheers from Japan," which is super cool. Would love to know how you found us in Japan, or if you're from Ontario, moved to Japan. How did you find us, Sally? Please leave a comment and let us know. But Sally also says, by the way, can we still get an I'm Dalby? It's my favorite part of the show. Well, Sally, thank you so much for the comment and the kind words. And to everyone else, please feel free to leave comments on these episodes. We'll start checking for them. We'll start reading them out on the podcast. But for your request, let's start today's show with something I haven't done in a while. I'm Dalby.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I have devastating news for pet owners out there, specifically dog owners, though I will guess that by the end of this conversation, nothing will have changed for most of you. See, a team of researchers at Penn State down in the States were doing some testing on bacteria and diseases and trying to find causes and all these other things, and they found that household pets, specifically dogs, are, quote from the study, an overlooked source of salmonella. Now, if salmonella sounds familiar, but you're not quite sure, it's what people get when they mess around with raw foods, like meat and eggs. Like, you've always been told you're not supposed to eat raw cookie dough because it's got raw eggs in it and you might get salmonella, or you have to wipe up your countertops after you put raw meat on them, and you're not supposed to cross-contaminate because you could get salmonella, and then you get diarrhea and cramps and maybe die. That's all part of the package. Well, now these Penn State researchers are saying you can get it from the dog too, but not just from like having dogs. Like, if you've got a dog in the house, it's not immediately a threat. Like, if you wash your hands and you keep clean, and you keep the dog clean, you'll be fine. Go adopt a dog if you want a dog. It's not going to kill you. Y'all got to stop kissing your dogs. When you're on the couch and they come up and start licking your face, you're rolling the dice with some rotten guts every single time it happens. You are dancing with salmonella every time who's a good boy and the dog's licking. No. It's a bad idea. And it makes sense. As clean as you might keep your dog, you could groom and wash your dog all the time. He might be the goodest boy. I'm not trying to slander your dog. But he also goes mouth deep in butts and crotch, right? Like, that's what dogs do. We can't shame them for it, but you got to keep those facts in mind before you let them go from their butt to your mouth, because science says you're going to get sick. But the funny thing is like, I can send you this survey. I can send you this study from the Penn State website that lists all of this information, and you would be smarter for reading it. But at the end of the day, this news absolutely will not stop dog owners who let their dogs lick their face. This is the pet ownership equivalent of when they put warning labels on cigarettes. It's preaching to people who either know and don't care or don't want to hear it in the first place. Dog owners who let their dogs lick their face will hear this news and go, "Oh man, that's so gross. That's so awful. Not my dog, though. My dog's the goodest boy. Come on over here." Blah, 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 blah. But that's just who we are as human beings, right? We don't want to be told to stop doing the things that we love.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Humans are very simple people. We like what we like and we do what we like. And if we're told that the thing that we like is bad for us, sometimes we change our behavior. But for the most part, we're just going to keep doing it. The perfect example is the cigarette packs. I mean, they put warnings on the packs, and then they put pictures on the packs, and then they took logos off the packs so they could make the warnings bigger. Now the warnings are on the cigarettes themselves. And when I stopped to get a Monster Energy drink this morning, I watched a guy buy 4 packs of cigarettes. He didn't care. He's still going to smoke. He knows they're bad for him. I also am in the same boat. How many times have we been told that energy drinks are bad for you? But I didn't sleep great last night, and if I'm going to talk to you guys for 3.5 hours, I'm going to need some kind of go-go juice to make sure that we can get all the way till 9 o'clock, then I can go home and pass out. Jason texted in and said, "I will never stop eating bacon, no matter how many times they say it's bad for me." And I'll go one step further, Jason. I'm talking about pork bacon. You can tell me that turkey bacon is so good for you. I see all these influencers on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram trying to tell me recipes when I'm looking up stuff to do for meal prep, and they're like, oh, what you do right here is you just mix in a little bit of turkey bacon, and I swipe. You're not going to make me eat turkey bacon because I don't hate myself enough. I am comfortable enough being fat that I will not eat turkey bacon, and I will continue to eat the pork stuff, like Jason said, no matter what they say. This text here just says drinking alcohol. Yeah, I mean, we know that boozing is not good for you. Some people stop it and they feel the benefits from them, and that's awesome. I myself have not had alcohol in a pretty significant amount of time. I didn't make an effort to quit or anything. I just haven't gone drinking, and I feel a little bit better for it. But also, there are so many people, and you see it in bars, clubs, all around the world, that no matter how many times they see commercials or hear the warnings or whatever, they're still going to go for a beer after work. This text just says speeding. I will not stop speeding. You and most of everybody else on Ontario highways, I will say, you are in a very vast club of people. The speeding is not a great thing. It's dangerous for you and it's dangerous for everybody out there, but it's another case of when's the last time you went out for a drive, even if you were just running for groceries and heading back home, and didn't see at least one person going significantly over the speed limit. We put in fines, we put in all these demerits and everything else to try and deter people, and that guy is still doing 90 on a 50K roadway. People don't like to give up the things that they like to do.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
One of the perks of this job that most people don't think about is that when I drive to work disgustingly early in the morning, there are rarely other drivers along my route. So it's about the safest I ever feel on the roads. When I drive home at the end of the show, it's much more people-y out there. And I feel like they're all on a mission, like they're all in a group chat talking about how they can make it more difficult for me to survive the commute. And good news, I was reading yesterday, that's only going to get worse. Apparently, Google is looking to add more apps to its Android Auto service. For iPhone users, that's basically the Android equivalent of CarPlay. When you connect your Android phone to your car and start using the screen in your entertainment system, if you have one of the newer cars with the Bluetooth or the USB ports and all that stuff. Right now, it's mainly used for like maps or Spotify, podcasts, things like that, but they want to expand on that. They want to start converting more apps that you can already get on Android phones to become compatible with Android Auto. Specifically, they say they're looking to expand to video games and streaming apps. Now, I'm sure the idea is that this would be for passengers in the car so that they have some entertainment. They can use the phone while the car is moving on long road trips. But like, we all know people are just going to start putting on Netflix or YouTube while they drive if this becomes a thing. Someone smacks into you in an intersection. Oh, sorry, man. The new season of Squid Game is just so good. I didn't even see you there. God help us all when the Zoomers start driving around with skibbity toilet YouTube videos on as they hit the highways. Maybe this is all to make us more comfortable with self-driving cars. They're trying to do the self-driving taxis and things like that, and people are resistant. We're hesitant because the technology is new and we're nervous. But I trust AI more than I trust anyone with Love is Blind playing while they go out for groceries.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
It really is incredible to see the things people think that they're capable of doing while they're driving on top of, the act of driving. Lots of wild text today about the most distracted drivers around the city you've ever seen. Got this one here from Mara that says, I always think about whether or not the guy I saw with his tablet in a case that was taped to his steering wheel playing Candy Crush. I wonder if he's dead yet. If you ever needed evidence that game was addictive as hell, that feels like pretty prime example. That's the good stuff right there. I got a lot of text about eaters as well and the gymnastics people will do to drive and stuff their face at the same time. I personally once drove next to a lady who was hoofing an entire Caesar salad, a whole ass Caesar salad out of a bowl with a fork while trying to keep her Jetta between the lines. It's like watching a nature documentary. I could hear David Attenborough describing her as she was driving. The prairie salad shrew gnashes its mighty teeth, crushing croutons to mere crumbs, trying to gain sustenance before a poorly scheduled Pilates class. Jason texted in to say, saw a woman start doing her makeup at a red light. Light went green. She just sat there. People honked. Nobody moved. Doing more makeup. Then, when the light turned red, she was finally done, so she started to drive and almost T-boned somebody on the way through the intersection. And that might sound awful. Like, it might sound like, oh my God, what an idiot. I can't believe she would do that. But I bet the coroner would have been really impressed with her smoky eye as they carted her away had things gone bad in that accident. We will finish with this text that just says, I seen a man once full on playing the harmonica, 0 hands on the steering wheel, just playing away. And I mean, if you're going to go, you might as well go full Blues Traveler.
This is the Brock and Delby Podcast.
We finally have proof that we are raising the next generation wrong. And I don't say this lightly. A study is out that says 73% of shoppers aged 17 to 27, Gen Z, the youth, head out in-person shopping at least once a week. Fair enough. Hey, you got to get out. You got to do what you got to do. 57% say that it's because the shopping experience is fun. They don't go out for necessity. They don't go out because they need to buy stuff. They go out because the shopping experience is fun. And let me just say, as someone who does believe it's very important to support local businesses and get out and be part of commerce and capitalism, and also just does like to buy shiny new things, these kids don't know what the hell they're talking about. Shopping is fun is a sentence only uttered by someone who has never tried to pick up a Costco rotisserie chicken on a Sunday for family dinner. Shopping is fun is the catchphrase of someone who never drove around a parking lot for 10 minutes at a mall just trying to find a place to park, all the while knowing that this means that there's more people inside that building than I'd like to see in the span of a calendar month. Shopping can be fun. If you go and absolutely no one who isn't collecting a paycheck is inside, having the place all to yourself can be nice. I even get why people go mall walking early in the morning before anybody else gets there. But as soon as people show up, the experience is ruined. The greatest invention in the history of in-person shopping was headphones, and there is not a close second. Whatever the second place invention is, it is well behind the use of headphones when you go out shopping. Oh, God. Along with the back pain and the knee pain and going bald and taking pills every day, is this the proof that I'm getting old?
No, it's the children who are wrong.
Thank you, Principal. I needed to hear that.
The Brock and Delby Podcast.
There are some good things about going shopping. There are some moments where it is a fun experience. For example, I mentioned when saying that shopping is a nightmare, the hell that is trying to find a parking spot. You're going around the mall parking lot or the grocery store or whatever it is. You're trying to find a spot where you're not going to have to walk for 6 days and 7 nights to get to the store. But somebody did point out that on the other half of that coin, there is that moment of grace when the heavens open up and the light shines down on the rock star parking spot right in front of the store that is not for delivery, not for pickup, not a handicapped or expectant mother spot, just an open parking spot. And how could it possibly be here? That is a great experience. I did mention when stores are empty, other people chimed in and said sometimes if you know the store well enough, you know the best times to go. And that is true. Sometimes you can go into a store, get in and out, grab your stuff, and never have to worry about talking to another person. But the problem is it's like Costco is the perfect example. Everybody thinks that they know the perfect time to go to Costco. Oh, I would never go on a Sunday. I only go on Tuesdays between 11:15 and 11:45 in the morning. So does everybody else. Everybody thinks they've got the system figured out, but the problem is once everybody figures out the system doesn't work anymore. Also, we have people who are saying that the age group we're referring to, the 17 to 27-year-olds that say that they do enjoy the shopping experience, likely don't have kids. And that's actually really true. when you go shopping by yourself. For example, even me, I get done this show at 9 o'clock. I go home, I work on the podcast. That gives me a lot of time in between finishing up my work for the day and picking up my kids from school that I can go and I can do my running around if I have to. And the difference between, say, a Thursday at 10:30, and no, I'm not telling you where I'm going to be later this morning, popping into the grocery store to pick up a few things versus trying to do like the full family grocery shop with the kids in tow on a Saturday or a Sunday is night and day. So actually, now that I think about it, I get it. If you're 18 and you don't have any kids or any responsibilities, you don't have bills to worry about yet, you probably will not be able to afford a house for the next 40 to 50 years ahead of you. I get how just going to a mall and spending some of your non-discretionary money actually makes a lot of sense for why it would be a fun experience. That said, 99.9% of the time, I would still just rather stay on the couch and watch TV, brother.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
All this week, Brock's been on vacation down in Mexico, and it's got me thinking about how it's been so long since I took a trip anywhere other than around the province. So I was looking at maybe getting out to the Maritimes. It's the last part of Canada that I've never been to. And while I was searching online, I came across something very interesting, a new AI assistant capable of voice conversation. Sorry, what am I supposed to call you again?
Call me BoyBot. I'm here to bring a bit of that Newfoundland charm and help you out with anything you need.
Did you say BoyBot?
Yes, that's right. BoyBot, with a friendly Newfoundland twist.
I like the name. I'm not going to lie. I think it's rather fitting. I do have to ask, though, we have the Siris and the Alexas and the ChatGPTs and all these other things of the world. Did the world need a Newfoundland AI assistant named BoyBot?
The world's a big place with lots of different folks, right? BoyBot brings a bit of that Newfoundland warmth and down-home feel. It's like having a friendly neighbor to chat with, which can make all this tech stuff feel a bit more personal and comfortable.
What are some of the things that the people of Newfoundland have come to you for advice so far?
People from Newfoundland might come to me for all sorts of things, whether it's helping to find a good recipe for a scoff, navigating around the bay, or just having a yarn. It's all about being a helpful hand, no matter the task.
Do you ever get it where people from the Maritimes just call you because they're just bored and they got no one else to talk to?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes folks just want to have a chat, share a story, or pass the time. It's all part of being a friendly voice in the Maritimes.
Do you find it difficult being an AI construct designed obviously as family friendly to truly bring the Newfoundlander out without being able to use cuss words?
Not at all. There's so much more to Newfoundland culture than just the language. It's about the warmth, the humour, and the sense of community. I can still bring that out and keep things family friendly.
Now, I guess I have to ask, can you be screeched in despite the fact that you're an AI construct?
Well, boy, being a digital construct, I might not be able to kiss the cod or down the rum, but I'm all in for the spirit of it. Consider me an honorary Newfoundlander. Always ready to celebrate.
Well, I guess my final question, BoyBot. Sorry, I'm really having trouble saying the name. BoyBot, what would you say to the people of Ontario that are listening to the Brock and Dalby show right now about the beauty that is the Rock?
No worries, Dalby. To all the folks in Ontario listening, I'd say come on down and experience the Rock for yourself. You'll find breathtaking coastlines, friendly faces, and a unique charm you won't find anywhere else. It's a place where the beauty of nature and the warmth of the people make you feel right at home.
BoyBot, I'm going to ask you to do one thing for me. I think if you're truly authentically Newfoundland, you should be able to tell me about how your morning went and have me not understand most of what you said as an English-speaking Ontarian.
All right, boy. This morning, I got up, had me mug up with a feed of Teutons, and then went out for a scoff. It was right some shocking cold, but a fine morning all the same. How's that for you, boy?
BoyBot, you're good by me.
Glad to hear it, Dalby. Always happy to bring a bit of Newfoundland flair to the table.
I would say you've done that for sure. Thank you, BoyBot, for coming on to the program today. That's fascinating and fantastic, and I hope that we can talk again.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Tool time is the game. Today we're talking about ratchet straps. Whoever can do the best ratchet strap impression will win $100 in Lotto 649 tickets for Saturday's draw. If you don't know what a ratchet strap sounds like, this is it. So each of our tools today will be given a chance to give us their ratchet strap impression on Tool Time, and whoever does it the best will be declared the winner. and get the prize. So let's go to line number 1. Brock and Dalby Show. Who's this?
It's Ryan.
Ryan, you ever deal with a ratchet strap before?
Once or twice.
Once or twice. Well, this is what they sound like, just to be sure. Now, I want you to bring it. I want you to make it nice, crisp, clear, and satisfying. All right, Ryan?
Best I can.
All right, let's go.
That ain't going nowhere.
Well, it's sealed in, but there might be something wrong with your ratchets. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Brock and Dalby Show. Who's this?
Hey, it's Tim.
Tim. Ryan went first. He broke the ice. We're looking for the ratchet strap.
Right on.
You think you can top him?
Sure.
All right. Well, here is your shot on Tool Time. Let's hear it. That spoke to the very innermost part of my brain. Very well done. Put you on hold. Hang on. All right, line number 3, last competitor. Who's this?
Hey, it's Mark.
Mark, you've got a chance to clean up here, but I will say 2 strong competitors in the clubhouse ahead of you, looking for the ratchet strap. Do you think you can beat him, Mark?
I'll give her a go.
All right, let's hear you on Tool Time.
That's definitely not going anywhere.
Hang on. You got to slap it, right? That's how you know it's not going to go anywhere. If you don't slap it, even after the ratchet strap, there's still the possibility that it'll go flying out onto the highway. But great job from all 3 contestants today. I will say, I don't think I have to go to the text line. I don't think we have to really double check because I think one contestant made the full ratchet noise with the clicking, that's sort of the key, right? Listen to it. But it was line number 2 that is my winner. Congratulations, man.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
You nailed the essence of the ratchet strap. I felt it in my soul, and that really is not going anywhere. So congratulations. You get $100.
I don't know if I'm proud or not.
You get $100 in Lotto 649 tickets, and the draw on Saturday is for $20 million. If you happen to win that, you think you could spare some nickels and dimes for the fellas over here?
You know it for sure.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
A woman went to a Burger King in Hamilton, Ohio, and got more than she bargained for. See, she was just quickly looking to pick up some chicken fries for a snack during her day, but instead got chicken fries and weed. A bunch of weed in the bag. Eventually, management did figure out who did this as she went inside to complain what the hell is going on here. Management fired the employee who was found to be responsible for the weed getting into the bag, but Hamilton, Ohio police say they have not received a report at this time from the customer, which implies that she was upset that the weed was in the bag, but not so much that she wanted to turn it over to the authorities.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Send a text to us, 762 555 is the number. Come get weird with us, ask us anything, and we'll try to reply.
Yes, 762 555, as the Jurassic Park theme song once told you to. Please send a text to us. Questions, comments, concerns, anything about the park that you're curious about, maybe.
I don't know that we're experts on the Got one here that just says, happy birthday to Brock. It was his birthday on Monday, in case you guys missed it. We're wondering where he's been this week. The text says, it makes me realize I did absolutely nothing for my 20th, 30th, or 40th birthdays. I think I need to work on my likability. Hey, listen, let me know when 50 comes up. I'm there. I'm all over it. Maybe not Mexico. I'll buy you a beer or a Coke, whatever you want. I also, I don't think I've ever done a getaway for a birthday before. My birthday is also September 30th, so it's not prime. Getting away to Mexico, January 13th, which is Brock's birthday, that's fantastic. Going on September 30th, you're still on the precipice of getting into, the colder weather, depending on where you live in the world. When I lived in British Columbia, it was still practically summer. Just maybe kind of fall. So I've never done a trip for my birthday either before. I don't think it means we're unlikable, though. I hope it doesn't mean we're unlikable. This text here says, does anybody find that newborn baby poop smells like bread dough sometimes. As somebody who just started baking bread themselves this past weekend and also has 2 kids, yeah, I didn't put that together until reading your text, but 100%. Like, you see it in the movies and on TV. Every dirty diaper is just this, like, biohazard, toxic waste, horrific event as parents are dying, falling over, stink lines coming off the diaper. But you're right. Every now and again, I'm not saying it was ideal. It never made me hungry. But you do get that smell, like a yeasty kind of smell every now and again. This one here says, are you still watching football now that the Pittsburgh Steelers have been eliminated? Yeah, I think I'm rooting for the Buffalo Bills. I'm one of those guys that once my team is eliminated, like once Detroit's out of the hockey playoffs, once the Steelers are out in the NFL, I don't watch as avidly, but there's just something about the Buffalo Bills, man. There's something about the fan base that I dig. I'm also kind of into the Philadelphia Eagles right now. I mean, we all saw, I don't know if you guys all saw this, but there was a fan at the Philadelphia Eagles Green Bay Packers playoff game this past weekend that was just being horrific to a Green Bay Packers fan that was sitting in front of him, calling her, dropping C sharps all over the place, like just being a real scumbag. The team found him, kicked him out, banned him from the building. He's not allowed in the building for anything, concerts, football games, anything. And based on the way this guy was dressing, he is a diehard Eagles fan. That's going to break his heart. He also got in trouble with his job, all this stuff. And just sort of seeing the way that the city of Philadelphia and the Eagles, they sent the ladies some Packers merch as like a sorry for our fan being a mutt. Seeing all that kind of was like, the Eagles are also kind of a fun team to cheer for. And our good friends Aaron and Noel at Geno's are diehard Eagles fans. And so I like to see my friends happy when it comes to sports. And the last thing I'll say here is, do you think it's any coincidence that the Leafs started losing a bunch of games when Brock went out of the country? I do think it's just a coincidence, but I do think it also means he probably has not spent a lot of time trying to get the game on the TVs in any of the bars at his resort. Probably makes it a little easier for him to just focus on having a fun vacation and not be glued to the TV trying to watch the Leafs go through it yet again in January.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Good morning. Today's word is garble. Yep, garble. 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 And it's to distort or alter a story to the point of a change in meaning. I always thought that was just called gossip. Anyways, I guess they both start with G. That's just both down there. Have a great one. Cheers.
I get what Ed is saying, but unfortunately he kind of garbled it just a little bit. It's not the same as like when you lie or you start telling stories about people to gossip. Garble is more when things get mixed up, get messed up. I mean, I'll say this. Sometimes I'll come on the radio and I'll try to say stuff and you'll hear me go full marble mouth. I can't get the words, can't find the thing I'm trying to say. That is me garbling the story that I'm trying to tell or the comment that I'm trying to make. When you talk to people over the phone, we all have at least a couple people in our lives, whether it's friends, family, coworkers, that don't know still somehow in 2025 how to speak into a phone, and it comes out all garbled like this. You can't understand what they're talking about because they're garbling the dialogue. So if you see somebody today and they're just marble mouth, they're just all over the place, you can't understand a word that they're saying, tell them to quit garbling at you and get on with their day. Garble, garbled, garbled. Use it wherever you can today.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store, with all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.